I know you know how to read, but do you know how to read a results page? One from the search engine. That's what this lesson is really all about. Here we have a search results page on a topic about import licenses. So if your boss says, gee, we really need to understand what Argentina is doing with these import licensing restrictions, you might come to Google and do a search like this on automatic import licenses. This is a particular kind of result, particular kind of set of results where you can see that, for example, WTO is doing some things about that. And what you want to understand is how are these results telling you what's going on in this topic. Now remember, our goal here is to understand what Argentina is doing about these import licenses. So let's look at this as a way of getting background information. So here we can actually start to see that the WTO is telling us some technical information about import licensing, and in particular what an automatic import license is. An interesting way to do this very quickly is to use this rollover preview tool. So actually I can now roll over and start to see exactly what kinds of documents I'm seeing and start to understand what an automatic import license is. If you read through these pages, you'll quickly understand that an automatic import license is an import license that's issued on demand whenever something is ready to go. So let's modify our query to see what's going on with Argentina about that. So I add the term Argentina here, and we can start to see different kinds of results just by looking at each individual results block. So here we've got the first one. This is from a set of press releases. You can see that. You can see here something from Merco Press about Brazilian discomfort. And if you start to click through these, we can actually click through each result, but I'm going to just preview them. We can start to see that the issue is how Argentina is dealing with automatic releases or not of those trade imports. So if you're trying to understand this stuff very, very quickly, skimming through and reading the search results page is a great way to start to understand what kinds of results are available and whether or not you can start to extract information from them. Caution, caution. When you read these results, one of the things you have to look at is the stuff in black here, the text that you see down here, often will have these three little dots. Okay, you see that? The three little dots right there? That's an ellipsis. That says that what Google has done is algorithmically extracted the text from the page that best matches what you're trying to look for. Be careful about this because that's not a complete summary in the way that a human would have done it. It's a summary extraction from the document underneath. So that's an important thing to remember. When you're reading the results page, each result block is composed of three different things. There's the title, that blue link that you would click on to go to that destination page. The green URL, which tells you where that document is coming from, and the black text, which we call the snippet, and some people will call the abstract. Notice that the green URL will have in it, embedded within it, information about what the providing organization is and what the domain is. In this case, you can see this is coming from ustr.gov. So the .gov extension is telling you this is an official governmental site, which has fairly credible information, in this case, about Argentina import restrictions. So when you're looking at each result block, keep in mind that there's some information you can look at and understand, and some information you have to start to assess contextually. One kind of result block you'll sometimes see is one like this. If you do a search for WTO, you'll get a very nice title, the home page, the domain, and the top level domain, so you can see what the organization is and where it's coming from. But also you'll sometimes see these links down here underneath. So that little arrow says these are links that jump deep into that website. Let's go to a live example here. So if we do a search for, say, WTO, you see exactly that. Those are the links that will dive deep into it, exactly where you want to go if you want to understand more about the structure of WTO. You'll see another kind of result links like that. If you do a query like WHO, meaning the World Health Organization, you'll see in this case, this is a large website which has a lot of links to pieces within it, and even again little abstracts, little snippets summarizing where you will land if you follow that link. One of the really nice things that Google does for large complex sites like this is give you a search box that will allow you to search in that site. So you see right here, this little query box allows us to enter a word, say disease. What is the World Health Organization doing about disease? Now when I hit enter, what I've done is I've searched on the site who.int. And all these results here are all from just who.int. We'll show you how to do this manually in a later lesson, but I wanted you to see that you get different kinds of result blocks depending on the kind of site, the kind of content that you're looking at. Let me give you one more example to sort of cement this idea about scanning the results page to see what kind of information is there. Suppose we're trying to figure out how many different breeds of cats there are. Breeds of cats. One thing you can start to look at here is there's a list of different kinds of cat breeds here at Wikipedia. Again, links to a few of the more common ones. Here we have something that says browsing 43 different cat breeds. There's 40 different cat breeds here. Uh-oh, we're starting to see multiple different kinds of numbers of different kinds of cat breeds. So what do? This becomes an interesting search task. Now you're going to have to start looking for credible, interesting, useful resources. This is a great way to start. What I want to have you take away from this lesson is that the search results page is an interesting information set in and of itself. By looking through the different result blocks, you can look at the snippets and start to extract a sense for where this question is going and the kinds of things you should be understanding, the kinds of things you should be digging into more deeply. Search is not just about doing a single query and getting a simple answer. It's often about doing research. And it's often about trying to take the different pieces of information and integrating them together so you can understand the concept more completely.